Hello friends. After understanding array of references, this is the time for understanding command line arguments thoroughly. Actually, in the chapter 1, concept number 1.6, I have explained command line arguments as a matter of integrity. Actually, that is not the right place for it. Until unless you understand array of references, you cannot own that concept. However, you can perform programs and all that, but one very important point is there. Once you understand that point, you can uh, own that concept. That is this one, string args. Actually, as a matter of practice, let us give it here, string args. This is the parameters of the main or formal arguments of the main. What is that? Args. This is string type array. Using this, we are able to give arguments through command line. At command line, we can give the arguments, and this string array receives those arguments, and through main, it provides it to the program, and program can act upon that. Program can perform operations on that. That you know. Already explained. The same program, there it is 1.5 program, and here it is 7.4 program. The same program I am giving, and if you have any doubt over that, it is 100% clarified here, because already you learned what is array of references. Okay, now you see this is the program, a simple program like a C structure. I have defined only variable instance variables, but no functions. Cash bill, string item, thereafter int number, float, rate, and amount. Actually, 4 variables I have defined. In the first one, string item, actually this is the name of the item, because we are writing the cash bill. Cash bill, there are 4 items. First one is item. Item means item name. There are number of items, a rate of one item, and the amount. That you know, a simple domain. Then all that we have written. Thereafter, for implementation of this blueprint, we have written uh, cash bill demo. In this cash bill B1 object I am creating, and cash bill, this you know that B1 object I am going to create. Then actually this little later you can explain. I will explain. Actually, after writing this program, first you are compiling it. So it is successfully compiled. Then cash bill dot class bytecode file is created. After successful compilation of that, you can interpret it, that is implementation. Then Java cash bill. You should not write .java. Then whatever inputs you want to give at command line arguments, you can give. How many inputs you are supposed to give? You have to give 3 inputs. The first one is item name, second one is number of items, third one is the price of each item. That we are giving. First one pence, second one 10, third one third one that is rate we are giving. And as far as this is concerned, you must remember one very important point. Here you see 3 different data types you are giving. First one is a string object. Second one is an integer integer constant. Third one is a floating point constants. And one more thing I am telling you, you must write f. If you want to treat it as float, means 4 bytes, you must put the f. Otherwise, by default floating point value you double, it takes 8 bytes. So if you want to make it float explicitly, you have to write suffix f, either uppercase or lowercase. That point also you remember. So here 3 different types we have given. Even though what is there here, argument is string. So whatever you give, that is transformed into string. That means how it takes pens. Okay, pens already by its nature it is a string. 10 also is transformed into a string object. Even 9.75 also is transformed as a string object. So now one array is created. In that array, now I represent it here. Originally, before giving these values, item is a string. It is referring null. Thereafter, number, rate. As far as number and rate, number is int, its default value is 0. So 0 is stored. And rate, its type is float, its default value is 0.0. For float and double, default value is 0.0. That's why 0.0 is there. Thereafter, after amount is calculated, this is filled. So this point you remember. Now what program has received? Program has received 3 strings. First one is pens, second one is a string, the content is 10, and third one is that is also a string and the content is 9.75. That you have to understand. Now if you want to simply display up to here, you can display it, but in order to evaluate amount, you must make calculation. If you have to make calculation, what should be done? Now you can view 10 like this, 9.75 like this. This is like a wrapped chocolate. But a wrapped chocolate, can you consume it? Until unless you remove the wrapper, you cannot consume it. Here, simply for displaying 10 or 9.7, there is no problem at all. The others cannot understand whether it is a string or a integer value. But if you have to perform operations, this wrapper should be removed. That point already explained to you. Just as a matter of context, I am explaining to you. Now you see, for that purpose, first b1 dot item. Item, actually we are using it as a string only. That's why we need not make anything. So here, what is this? Args0. This is args0. This is args1. This is args2. This is args3. That you know. Now you see here b1 number for transforming this 10, we have to remove the wrapper. For that purpose, what we are using? Integer dot parse int args1. In args1 only the 10 is stored in the string form. In order to remove the wrapper, we are using this static method. Integer class provides it, integer dot parse int, then it is assigned to b1 dot number. So this is a real integer constant that is stored. second one is float of parse float. Now actually this is floating point value, it is wrapped. This wrapper to be removed. For that purpose, parse float we have to use. Intern 9.75 is stored in that. Thereafter, now we see b1 dot number, b1 dot rate, b1 dot amount we have to calculate. So b1 dot number into rate we are making, then amount is calculated and stored here. That you can understand. So after that, we want to write this one. If we have to write this one, means the corresponding here one point, you can ignore this. This is not required, because here we are giving 3 inputs only, that is only stored. So this is enough. Then with reference to this output, you write SOP statements, then it will be ready. So one very important and common point is this: we can give n number of input values at the time of interpretation through command line, and this is taken by the strings arg, but whatever type of value you give, that is transformed into a string. That's why if we have to perform any operation and all that, the corresponding parsing method you have to use, then you can get the retrieve the original value, then only you can perform operations. Now for writing this output, whatever values you require and all that, all are available here, then enter, you can write the output. Actually, if you want much more detailed explanation, once again you can recall or you can watch the lecture 1.6 command line arguments in the first chapter.